Second year in the league upcoming for your number 34 ranked quarterback this year.
Yeah, and one of the toughest ones of the whole group here. But we're going Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers here for number 34, okay? And Bryce Young, I know it was a rough year, and there was a lot of things that worked against him. There's no doubt about it, right? The things I like about Bryce Young, hey, he's a guy with great natural feel for the quarterback position. He really is, and I mean that in all aspects, right? He sees the field pretty well. He moves in the pocket the appropriate way, right? He finds little lanes and things to step into, right? He's got very good anticipation, okay? He's a pretty good short game thrower. He's got a lot of different little quick, slick releases that he can get the ball to in screens, slants, whatever else, right? Those are all the positives for Bryce Young, right? But, of course, there's things that need to be worked on and things that I need to see before I can, put him any higher. There's things here that I question that I just don't know if I can get behind yet to go, yeah, he's in the 20s here or anything like that, right? The big thing is there's just too many games and plays as you watch of him just being overwhelmed in the game, and that scares me. And what I mean by overwhelmed in the game is just physically overwhelmed because of the size at times and having to rush throws or decisions because, I'm going to get hit, or not being able to make throws or decisions because the pocket's collapsing and now I'm going to move around where I'm going, well, some of the guys we're going to just talk about, or Jameis Winston, would have just kind of stood there and been like, wait, I'm going to stand tall and, yep, I'm going to make this throw and get hit, and so be it, right? Those are the things that are an issue with Bryce Young. Wow releases, not a wow arm. That's what we said during the draft. I told you a little while ago, another negative would be, hey, in elements, like a Tua, I'm concerned about him. When it gets a little windy, it gets a little wet, he does not control the ball the way you would like. And, of course, you know me, I'm very into, hey, big play football, power throws. That's one thing that becomes apparent as I go through this exercise every year. As I work the way up the list, I go, the good ones make a lot of wow plays and throws. The ones down in this area make the throws you're kind of supposed to make, but never make the wow throws or miss way too many of them, right? Where you go, hey, this is a big play. I know he's not wide open, but this guy's going to get it in there, and it's going to be a big play, and there's just none of that at times. So all of those things I worry about him with a little bit there. And because of that size, right, it is a real issue. It's not only, hey, I'm smaller and I can't see and necessarily throw the ball the way I want over the middle with people in my face. Like I told you before, the thing that I think bothers me more than anything is in the pocket, guys about to be open, right? Stand in there, boom, I'm going to throw it, and I know I'm about to get crushed in the chest, right? And this isn't because he's like a coward or not tough, because I think he is tough, right? But he has to play a certain way because of his size. And because of that, those plays or those throws, they can be off target, or he goes, oh, wait, I can't wait for it because I'm going to get lambasted as I throw it, and I need to just throw something short and get it out of my hand, where I go, man, most of the starting quarterbacks, they stand in there, they throw it, and they go, boom, I'm going to take the hit, but boom, I threw the 15-yard out route, and we got the first down, right? Yeah. His is either, wait, let me get out or get the ball out of my hand, or let me just kind of throw it to an area and hope it gets there, and I need to protect myself before he gets hit. And there is so many plays in the offense that are missed because of that throughout the year because of Bryce Young.
So the narrative, I think, with him, unfortunately, would be after that rookie year that he is already a bust.
I don't want to go there.
Would you go that far?
No, I don't. I don't want to go there. He's not a bust, right? That's not that. Now, do I think he was worth the number one pick? I don't think that, certainly. And I, as we said many times during the process, I mean, listen, I'm old school. I'm from, Phil Simms, Jim Kelly, Troy Aikman, John Elway quarterbacks, right? So I'm a little bit in I don't know if I would ever have a quarterback his size on my team. That would never happen. I just don't believe that can translate to the NFL. You got to kind of show me to believe it. Now,
unless they were like Kyler Murray.
Well, unless they have some other elite traits that can make up for those issues we're talking about, right? Now, he's a good runner, but he ain't a great runner. It's not that, right? And his arm is not as strong as Kyler Murray's either. It's not in the same category there. So, yeah, there's a difference there. And that's where you can kind of live with Kyler Murray because you're going, oh, yeah, he's smaller. Oh, that's right, but he's the fastest guy on the team. Oh, okay, that's changed. Oh, he's smaller. Oh, that's right, because he's got one of the stronger arms in the NFL. So you can deal with that because there's things that can, overcome the size and everything else there. Here's, the question. But I don't think it's a bust. I don't think it's that. I think the kid is smart and knows how to play and will take coaching and all of that, right? And that's some of the problems I was having with his ranking because I was kind of trying to project it and, maybe give him a little too much growth just off of projection. And I got to see it a little bit first. But I think the big thing is here, and what I like is Carolina's doing the right things to bring him along the right way this time around.
They're putting a team around him. Trying to.
Big offensive line in front of him. Got to happen. It's got to happen. And big interior offensive line because he can't have people in his face. That's not what he's about. He's not going to be that type of quarterback. So I like that. And did you hear Dave Canales last week? Mm-mm. I mean, they want to run the ball. They're going to run the ball and run the ball and run the ball. And then it's going to be a play action. And then it's going to be a boot. And then they're going to run the ball. And they're going to run the ball. And he's going to throw a screen. And they're going to bring him along that way. And then they'll start to go, okay, he's comfortable. And now, hey, we can spread the field. He knows where to get the ball out hot. And he knows the right checks to get to if he's going to get a blitz and pressure, and that's going to make him look like one of those bad plays we don't like. He'll get to another play, so we don't have to look at that Bryce Young, right? So that's where I think Bryce Young can improve and excel, and I would be shocked if he doesn't, right? He's got great anticipation throwing the football. He really does. But at the same time, like I told you before the pod, too, there's times where, hey, anticipation. You can't do it here, right? Trayvon Diggs is bumping your receiver as he's going down the field and he's about to make a break. You don't know exactly the angle he's going to come out, so you can't anticipate and go, let me just loft it up there into this area, right? Like most quarterbacks in football would go, okay, wait, he's getting bumped. Let me see him come out of his break a little bit. Shoo! Oh, first down, right? You can't always anticipate. That's not going to be the case. So there's that, right? And, yeah, those are just the things he's going to have to continue to work on, throwing with trash around him and all of that. But there is positives. And I do think he's smart and he has a natural feel for the position, but he's going to learn how to play within the physical elements of the game a little bit and raise his game that way and have a little bit more gusto to throw the ball into some tight windows a little bit. And that to me is the next step for Bryce Young.
Well, let me give some of the good for Bryce Young. You did a little bit there too, but there were some concerns whether he could stay healthy for an entire season. And he did miss one game, but it was only one early in the season. Week 3 versus Seattle. He had an ankle injury, but played 16 games right there. He completed 60% of his passes, which is not bad. He did throw 10 interceptions. He only had 12 his entire Alabama career. He had 10 interceptions his first year, but it was only 6 of the 16 games. In 10 of the games, he didn't throw an interception at all, so he was able to protect the ball there. He had a big game against Green Bay, 312 yards, couple touchdowns, no picks in that game.
So that was the game.
We have seen
of the year.
When you saw that, when you watched that game, what'd you notice?
Well, I think, it was a part of the year, if you kind of remember back at the time, right, where like Green Bay's defense was a little bit all over the place, right? And people were calling for Joe Barry's head and stuff like that. So there was some people, wide open on the football field, right? But again, like plays there to be had and you protect him, he can make it happen that way. The question of him is whether just, hey, the game's not perfect. It's an ugly game. What are you going to do there? And what was scary last year is they were in games like that and they had to manage him to such an extent they couldn't even attack on offense, right? I think that's what stinks. This was a game where, they were capable of attacking. And, like I said, again, too, like zone coverages, there's a few holes. You got a little protection. He can drop the ball and put it over a linebacker's head and I'm moving and sidearm it and do all that. When the game's wide open and clean in that way, right, he can look cool and effective. But again, they're not that good enough to be playing that way and doing that yet, and I don't know if he's going to be able to do that, in the NFL on a consistent basis.
Yeah, last year he was one of 6 quarterbacks to throw 500 or more passes in a season and average just 5.5 yards per attempt or worse. And so that's partly Bryce, but that's partly that situation, as you mentioned, that he was in last year.
And probably part of what you're saying, too. I'm trying to keep healthy and trying to stay that and debunk that narrative.
Yep.
I think all of that kind of probably played into the season we saw there.
So this is all time. You can see Derek Carr in 2014 happened to him as well. These are what you're noticing here. These are all pretty bad teams. These are all very, very bad teams with not a whole lot of offense.
That's right.
Of help around them. And you mentioned they got a little more. They got Xavier Legette. They drafted him, traded up into the first round to get him. They got Jonathan Brooks, a running back out of Texas.
Big play guy.
If they're going to run the ball, you can pair him with
end, right?
Miles Sanders. Yeah, you got the Jatavion Sanders from Texas, the tight end. And you got a couple linemen, too, that should help out.
I think that's the big thing. The lineman is the big thing. It's just the fact that he's going to have a little peace of mind to go, wait, I got 2 hosses in front of me at the guard position and the tackle position. They were already good.
Yeah.
And then within this, hopefully, between Brooks and Chuba Hubbard, they can run the ball, right? Xavier Legette be a weapon, and they can find this way to run the ball, throw screens, boots, little quick play action passes, and slowly but surely, get Bryce Young confident and feeling better and better about life in the NFL.
The guy leading the charge in Carolina.
Yo, what's up? Thanks for watching, homies. You know it's the off-season, but there's no off-season with Chris Sims Unbuttoned. It's the NFL. It goes all year around, all right? So hit subscribe, please, to hear my thoughts on your favorite team, your favorite quarterback, and, hey, how this season might unfold as we get ready for the 2024 season. We got a better picture, clearer look now that the draft is over, free agency. We know who's playing quarterback for certain teams. So, again, thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe. Peace out, homies. Check you out soon.